So welcome to the Mount Tabor race on June 2nd, 2021. So this is my first ever race and I'm racing Cat 5. The course is 1.3 miles. It's a circuit race that's on Mount Tabor, an extinct volcano, and each lap is 136.6 feet of climbing. So a pretty punchy race. And we're just about 1 minute out from the start, so we start at around 5:55, and we're just waiting for the previous Masters group to finish. Yeah, it's the first race since 2019 for this series, so a lot of people came out. Alright, so at the start, what I try to do is I just try to get to the front because I know that it's going to get strung out at the very end, so it's best to go to the front so I don't get dropped early on. I just try to hang out as long as possible. Okay, so right here, yeah, I'm just like seeing this and trying to get in the draft. And I was just trying to look back and see where I can slide in. Get a little bit of draft here. There's a very tight hairpin corner coming on, so everyone's just trying to get a good position in here. Yeah, and now the downhill starts, everyone's still pedaling hard. This is usually where like each lap the field gets strung out a lot, so it's crucial to I think maintain speed and keep up with the people. But as you see here, I don't really do that very well. I just kind of get the gap increases between me and the other people. Definitely, I think that's something I need to work on. Just trying to stay with the pack and draft on the flats. Yeah, you see here, like the pack is I'm just kind of not really moving forward and just kind of getting slowly dropped. But luckily, I think in the first lap there's a lot of people, so people can't really go fast, so I can sort of just drift back into the pack. But it's pretty interesting because there's so many people next to you, and as a first-time racer, you're just kind of getting nervous about like if you're gonna hit other people, if you're gonna bump into other people. And now we start the uphill, so pretty punchy, so you gotta go up to like 300-400 watts to just stay with the group, even in the draft. And when you're going up, you're like around 17 to like 20 miles per hour, so you still get a pretty good draft. Yeah, so after a few corners, I think it's almost the first lap. Yeah, interesting, this race is originally there's going to be I think 25 people signed up online, what I saw when I last checked, but instead I think at then I remember there's like around 49 people showed up, which is like a lot. I guess it's part of staying home from quarantine. A lot of people want to start bike racing, and that's the same for me. Yeah, and that's first lap, so just get on the curve. It's a little bit sketchy because there's a little drop at the end. And yeah, another bump. And yeah, and also on this course there's a lot of potholes, so on the other day I was scouting the area and I literally just ran the pothole up, going up this slope we just came from, and then just flattened my rear tire. So on this course you also have to watch out for potholes. Yeah, just taking the inside line. But you see here it's already getting strung out, so you gotta be like, if you want to win this race. If you want to do good, you gotta keep on staying forward, keep on moving up, so you don't like end up like me, where I just get like behind and without a draft, you just keep on getting distance, keep on getting farther and further. And here you don't really get any break really, so like although here I get a little bit of break, but if you wanted to like do well, you have to keep on pedaling, like maybe putting out above 200 watts. And yeah, so and I think that it might be me. I'm like more of a lighter rider, so I think that I don't really carry speed well over the flats, especially without a draft. So I kind of in the flats, you see people moving up, but I just can't really keep up. And I kind of need to sprint, like do these like hard efforts to just like, I don't know, just try to keep up. But I think next race is something really important for me to do, is just to stay with the pack, to get a good draft off the flats, and perhaps just attack on the climbs, since I think that's really where my strength comes in, or whatever I'm not so sucky at. I see, I hear people just flying up, and I just don't really have any time to recover, so just gotta suffer my way up. Yeah, I'm just suffering here, because at this time I was like I just noticed I got dropped, so I was like trying my best to get back onto the group, but yeah, it's not going very well. And yeah, but so for me, I think at this point, my trying to get onto the pack was like already out of the option, because it's so much distance. You just don't even notice it, because it's like a little bit, and then a gap opens, and then it's suddenly there's like a really big one here, so it's really hard to get back on. So the important thing is just to stay with the pack. Like even if you have to burn the many matches, just stay with the pack, because if you get dropped like this, you're almost like there's no chance of getting back on, unless you're a very, very strong rider. Yeah, and at this point, I think my goals was just to like maybe not get last and see how far I can move up. And I'm just trying to track back to the few people in front of me. Yeah, so I'm just like hanging around 300 watts going up the hill. And I wasn't really paying attention to my power meter. I was just trying to do my best to try to keep up. Yeah, I even forgot how many laps I was on, so that comes to say how hard these kind of races can be for people like me. See, you just gotta keep on pedaling down slope. And I think this day was also pretty warm. I think the day before was like over 90 degrees in June for Portland, which is like pretty warm. And today I think it was like around 80-ish, so not too hot, but still some substantial amount of heat. Yeah, and here, oh, someone else passed me, but yeah, I'm just here doing, just time trialing my way all the way to the finish line, so it's gonna be a pretty long race. think something I also need practice is like these surge efforts, because this race is so punchy. At the beginning of the climb, like when you pass the gate over there, you just gotta. I think to be competitive, I think I need to do at least like 400 watts, 300, 400-ish watts to like keep up. But yeah, there's a lot of strong people out this race. I just take this inside line because I think it's the shortest distance, and then there's also potholes like in the middle of the road, so it's best if you can avoid those. You can see right there, there's a lot of potholes. Going. Also, I think something also I forgot to do in this race is like, I don't know why, but I was like spinning a lot, and I wasn't really like standing up to pedal. I think that's something I only did like once or twice this race, so I think this is something I can really use just to switch up the muscle groups to get more like even distribution of like how much muscles I use, so I can probably like get more power out of that. And I also think like having more distributed like muscle use also like kind of keeps your legs less like fatigued, because you give your different muscles a break. And I think also this race, since it's so punchy and it's like less than I think it's around 30 minutes in total, so you can really use that like your muscular endurance instead of your aerobic endurance capacity, or whatever you call that. But here, yeah, I'm just trying to catch up, but yeah, it's a very big, very, very big gap. There's also something I was wondering, like if OBRA, like the Oregon Bicycle Racing Association, who organizes these races, like they're in Oregon, it's like OBRA is like the main cycling association, like not USA Cycling. So I was like wondering if they don't allow like super tucking, like how the pros do it. I was interested. Like I didn't do it, but I didn't see anyone else do it. But I was curious if they allowed that, or if it's like the UCI where they ban it. Yeah. And here, this is like what I'm talking about. Here, this is like crucial in this area to get a draft. And that day on June 2nd, I'm pretty sure that I saw there was a headwind on that section, so it's even more important to get a draft. Because if you don't have any, it's like me, you're just kind of eating wind, and if you're not with the group, your gap with them is just opening up. See one in the distance, so I think my thought at the time was just trying to catch that person. Yeah, I'm just taking the shortest line just to cut some distance. And then also in the future, I will also like to, if I was going to be staying with the pack, I think I would also want to try to like conserve some energy, like, because I was pretty much, now looking at my power meter, I was just trying to go as hard as possible this race, because I was being dropped so far behind. So in the future, I could probably better manage my power. That'll be better. Yeah. So past this guy, but I think, pretty sure he passes me again on the downhill in a bit, which it's just something I kind of struggle on, keeping my speed on the downhill. I don't know if the people are just like putting out more power than me, or it's just that like maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just a little bit lighter than them, so I just carry less speed on the downhill, maybe. Yeah, this guy, well, he's gonna be gone. I'm not catching him because he's putting a lot of power. Just keep on pedaling. 32 miles per hour. Probably be better also if I just try to tuck in a little bit, like elbows in, try to get my back as flat as possible. Yeah, and you see here, like, people are just passing me. I tried it, yeah, I did a little bit of effort, try to get on the wheel, just try to get some of the draft. It's kind of hard because, you know, like, this difference in speed, like, it's hard for me to, like, I need to surge to try to catch up to them. But I eventually kind of make it, yeah, I make it onto this guy's wheel. So, trying to get a little bit of draft going up the hill. And yeah, my regret was that I think I should have went with the other two people. But this is better than just going alone, so. Finally stand up during the race. Yeah, I should definitely do more of that. Oh yeah, I can also I was groaning because I was suffering. I also didn't really know who was like really strong in this race, or who was like, yeah, just who I should draft off. So I wasn't really sure if I should remain in the draft, or I should like just chase myself. But I guess that's like, the more races you do, the more you learn. And also, yeah, I eventually passed those two guys, but it's always the downhill, yeah, just the downhill. I always get caught, and the flats. You know, I'll try to probably hang out to someone's wheel on the downhill just to see, like, next time how they do it, so I can try to do the same. The whole time I was thinking that I was like, I at one point I forgot there was people behind me, so I thought I was last. Like people were passing me, I thought I was going to be finishing in last place. So at this point I was just trying to see, like, I just don't want to get last, or I just wanted to see how many places I can make up. And I tried to get on their wheel. But I don't think I successfully do that. It's very hard to catch them on the down, like the flats where there's a headwind, so it's very hard for me to close the gap. And this race I was like going over 100 RPM, so it's just spinning pretty hard. Oh, there's also a BMX guy. I didn't know he was in Cat 5, where he was just like alone. I didn't even realize this at this point, like this is the final lap, so everyone's sprinting, so I didn't know that. So, but I think I gave it a pretty good effort. I just tried to go as hard as possible. Forgot to count the laps, which I need to do that next time. And suffering pretty badly. Almost done. At this point I see the checker flag, so that's why I sprint a little bit at that. So that's pretty much my first race. That's really fun, and I'm very excited to have the next one.